Hello and welcome to a BoogieBeau play and practice in E. Yep. The E blues scale. We're going to look at that, and we're going to look at a bunch of little things you can do to get going. So this is meant for a beginner, someone who's been playing for a little while, maybe knows the E blues format. But we'll look at a little score. This score is available as an image on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com BoogieBeau music, one word, yeah. So let's first look at something you can do in the right hand. And you see we got an E7 chord, an A7 chord, finally a B7 chord. So let's look at that quick. We have the E7. So I would start with that and then go on to your A and your B7. Then work it back down. Go up to B7 from E. Back down to E. So practice that for a long time until you got it down, okay? And let's look at the next thing I have on my little score here, and that's a left hand shuffle, but you can play it not in shuffle mode, but just straight. So that's where you play a root and fifth. Then the next time you play a root and the sixth. So on the keyboard, yeah, it's going to look like this. Now, you can see how my hand, left hand, had to go up here to get the thumb on this black note. And that what makes playing this E shuffle or chop, some people call it, hard. Now, if your finger is small enough, it could fit in there. Mine fits in there pretty good. Between the B and the C, in that narrow space. So I don't have to have this up and down motion. For A, you're going to do the same darn thing. Now for B, you don't have to because this finger's on the F sharp. But the thumb is still up here in the G sharp, yeah. So you got to do that a whole bunch if you're a raw beginner. Now remember, the right hand knows chords we were looking at earlier. E7, A7, B7. So yeah, the next step, yep, put those hands together. Then you want to go up to A. So what you want to do is look down, yeah. Move that hand to A and then look where you're going to land that left hand again. And go back down to E. So I cheat. In C blues, where it's all white keys, you don't have to cheat too much. But in the E blues, yeah, I cheat a lot. Because I'm just kind of fresh at this too, but I'm determined to play this, so I'm trying to play everything in E for like the next month. So I would mix it up, go, between the chords, jump around. So that's how you get going. You start slow, yeah. So the next thing I have in my little score here is the E blues scale. Now I say must know E blues scale. Yep, you got to know this. So there are the notes: E, G, A sharp, or B flat, really. Your B, a D, and finally you're back to the root. Then going down the same series, yeah. So on the keyboard, see, I'm using these fingers but then the thumb goes under. Yep, and that's the other thing that makes E blues a little harder. And then your thumb can go up if you're going to keep going. Now, if we're not going up another octave, you could just go like that. I would practice this little riff right there. Now you can see what's happening. This finger's on the D, that thumb's on the B, but it crosses over to your E. So that little move there, you need to practice that like forever. So I would practice that E blues scale, and just don't always go like this. Try to mix it up. You know, mix it up like that a little bit. So what else can I do? Yeah, well, you got the blues scale down. Now again, here's your chop. Play some E blues scale notes in the right hand. You can go up to the A chord. Finally, you got your B, A, and go back down to E. Because you usually start most every song on the root chord, and you like to end on the root chord. Yep. So the next thing I have on my little score here, something you can do are called grace notes, and maybe easier to see on the keyboard. The grace note, you hit that black key, you just kind of boing it a little bit there. And what makes the E blues scale nice is because you can do that on 5 of the notes, yeah. So I would practice that little grace note business, and again, when you get it done, then go 2 hands and make up a little tune. And switch up to your A. Finally your B. So that's something you can do to get going with the grace notes. Now, of course, you can interchange. You don't have to do the grace note every single time. You can just go. I mean, you can mix them with the regular straight notes, yeah. So the last thing we're going to look at least for this little practice demo of what you can do with E blues scale and the E blues in general is something called turnarounds. You're going to find these in a lot of songs. want to practice playing this where you hit the note, go up the next note, back down to there. And so that's one where I start in E. I have one where I start in G here. And the last one I'm starting in B. But they're all notes. Yeah, notes of what? Notes in that E blues scale. There's, of course, a lot of combinations you can do, but pick a few and just play along with your chop in the left hand. So practice that, yeah. Now, the big challenge is to get started playing all kinds of things together. You got your what? 4 things I've showed you, okay? Again, what are those? You can do chords. You can play your E blues scale. You can do grace notes, and you can throw in some turnarounds. And if you can do that, well, you can become a recording artist. Yeah. So what you would like to do, though, is, of course, have a little backing track that has a shuffle drum in it. And we'll play that for a second. Now, this is much harder. You can do a straight shuffle excuse me, with that, or you can go a boogie beat. So now I'm just going straight. Don't forget to throw in some chords. Now after you practice with E for a while, you know, start playing your A. Then go up to B. So I would do that to get going. Don't try to get all complicated real fast, because then you'll get discouraged. Yeah. So just start slow, and then when you can switch between the chords and do a couple things, then start with your 12-bar blues format, where you're switching chords, you know, on a certain measure. So I hope you've enjoyed this E-blues practice ideas. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe. Yes, if you're on Facebook, leave a comment. Yeah.